session. We have 3 sessions. Each session will be simple. We will not take a lot of time, but we will get our point, okay? First of all, we have here the project module, okay? So firstly, when we have a project and each project have tasks to be implemented or to be done, okay? So we need to track these tasks, okay? So for that, we have the project software. Okay, as you can see, when we starting open or dive into this application, we have here the first screen named projects. Okay, and here we can find all our projects we are deal with. Okay, and as you know, here in Odoo, we have a view called Kanban view. These blocks are representing projects. So we have a project called AGR, and we have a project called field service, and so on. Each project have stages. So when we have a new project, it's in this stage, which is the first stage. These projects are to do, okay? When we start working in the project, we will change the project status. So we can drag this project into this column. So this project is in progress right now, okay? And after we have done from our project, we can drag it and drop it in the done stage, okay? Very good. And if we open any project, for example, let's open a new one. This one, for example, the system will open another screen which represents tasks inside the project. So this project AGR have 5 tasks, as you see. And also here in the Kanban view, we can find the number of tasks and the name of the customer. Okay, let's open this project. We have here 2 tasks, 1 new task and 1 task is in progress. And we have 3 tasks are done. So the system excludes them from the number of tasks that externally be shown here, okay? So let's go into our project. We have here many tasks, and also each task has a stage. So this is a new task, and if we drag it and drop it in the in progress column, which means we are working on it. And once it has been done, we can drag it into, into the done stage, okay? Okay. So let's start creating a new project. By the way, these stages are configurable, which means we can customize the stages we need. For example, if I want to add another stage before done, for example, we can add a column from here. We can click here and write our column name. Let's make it quality inspection stage and click on add. Okay, we have here a new stage. We can drag it before the done stage. Okay, so the project starts from to do, then it's in progress, then the quality inspection stage, and then it's done or canceled. Okay, we can have many and many stages for the project as whole. Okay, let's open our needed project, and here we have 4 tasks has been done and 1 new task. So let's start creating a new project. We will click on create. the system will ask me to write the project name. For example, let's make it external site construction. Okay. And we can have a worksheet for this project, and let's click on create. Once we have created a new project, we can find it here. External site construction with no tasks in this project. And here we will find the user, the creation user of the project, which represents my my user name inside the system. Let's go into the project, and may you ask now why we don't have stages here. The system asks me to create stages for this project. Okay, this is a good question. Once we create a new project, we have to define the project stages, which means each project can have different stages. Okay, I'm not talking about the stages of the project as whole, but I'm talking about the stages of the tasks inside each project. So tasks of each project can have different stages. How can we configure our stages for the tasks inside a specific project? We can dive into the project by clicking on it, and we will start to create our stages. And here we have a suggestion or a recommendation from our system. Let's make the first stage is to do. And we can make another stage. Let's call it assigned and in progress. Another stage with the name of quality check. And we can have the final stage, which is done. Okay. Here in the configuration, I can create the project tasks stages in two ways. As you have seen, the first way, and we have another way also. We can go to configuration. We can find here the project stages, which represents the stages of the projects as whole, and we can find here the task stages, and we can see here all the stages of all tasks. Okay. So for this task, for example, in each task we can select the projects here. The projects we need this stage to be shown or to be shown in it. Okay. For example, this stage is called to do. We can show this stage in this project, external site construction, and also in the office design project, and in the research and development project, and so on. And here we can write the sequence, which is the order number of each stage. So 0 means it is the first stage. If we have another stage, just like the in progress or assigned, for example, we can give it 1, which means it is the second stage in the project. And we can have here the in progress. We have another one, another new one. It has a sequence of 2, which means it is the third stage. And for the final stage, which called done, we have to give it this checkbox, closing stage. This tells our system it is the closing or the final stage of the tasks, okay, with this checkbox. Okay. Also, we have another checkbox here called folded in Kanban. What about this checkbox? If we check this, let's go to the projects and let's open our external site construction project. We have here all the stages we have defined, and we have a folded one called done. As you can see, folded means this stage is not opened as the other stages here. It's folded, okay? And if we clicked or pressed on it, it will be opened as the other ones, okay? So we have created a project and we have defined the stages of our project. Now it's time to create tasks, okay? For example, in the external site construction, I have 3 tasks, for example. Let's create a new task. How to create a new task? Here, from the beginning, we can dive into our project module and open our needed project. And inside the project, we can create a task. Okay, the system will ask me about the task title. For example, we can give it department or installation. In the site, and we will click on add. Here we have added a task in a quick way or in a fast way. Also, we can click on the task to open it and div its details. We have here the task title, and we have a priority star for the task. If it's an important task, we can give it a priority. Here we have the project related to this task, and we have the assignees. We can assign this task to a specific user inside the system, or we can have multiple users. For example, I will assign this task to Mr. Mitchell and Mr. Slab. Okay. Or we can assign it to just one person or one worker. And we have here a customer. We can select for which customer is this task. For example, I will select Tariq. And we have a planned date for each task. Each task has a start date and a deadline or end date. For example, let's make it from today to this day, for example, and we can define our time from here, hours and minutes, and click on apply. Now this task will start from this start date and it will end here. And also we can add a deadline date for this task, which means this task has to be done before this date. So let's, for example, let's make it the end of the month. And we have here a tags field. Tag field represents a sign. For example, if we have many projects in El Riyadh city and we have another projects in Jeddah city, so what should we do if we want to gather or collect or have a report about the projects of Riyadh and the projects of Jeddah? So we can work in this by using tags, okay? So I will make a new tag called Riyadh. And we will create another tag called Jeddah. So this task is in or is related to Riyadh projects, okay? although each task can have a parent task. We can have here our description for this task. We can write what we need to install in the site. And it's a dynamic field. For example, we can write slash. It will show us many options here. For example, we can have a head. This head is installation and the site. I will click on slash once again, and I will have a checklist. Let's try check. Okay, if you have many tasks to be, many things to be done in this task, for example, check install the materials, also check materials.
دقيقة بس بس طارق النت عندنا فيه فاصل دقيقة بس.
Okay, never mind. Let's pause our record. Okay, we have added a header for the description of the task, and we have added also a checklist. Install the materials and check materials quality, for example. Also, we can click on the slash once again, and we can have, for example, a table. We can define the number of columns and rows of our table. As you can see, we can have here material number and material name and the
Mr. Tariq,
quantity. Yes.
can you show me again how to make this checklist?
Okay. Any description field or any field you can write inside it a description or terms and conditions or notes. Just click on slash. Okay, in the keyboard, this menu will appear to you. You can choose checklist or numbered list. Okay. For example, if I have chosen a checklist, I can write anything here. Step 1, step 2, and so on. Okay. And we have here our table. Also, we can add a picture or a link. We can select any picture from here. We can upload any picture from our computer. Okay. Very good. Let's save our task. Okay. And as you can see, everything you do or you define in your task details, it will appear here in the log or in the shutter. Also, these checklists we can check the box of each checklist number here, as you can see, to mark it as done. Okay. Here the subtasks. We can add subtask for each task, which means the installation in the site is a big task, which can be divided into small or subtasks. So we can add a subtask by giving it a title. For example, installation step 1, and each subtask can have another assignees. Let's assign this subtask to Mr. Islam only, and we can give it a deadline and a stage. Is it to do or assign? Let's make it assigned, as we actually assigned it to Mr. Islam. Okay, We can add another subtask, installation, step 2, and we can assign it to Mr. Mitchell. Let's give it a deadline also, and it's in the assigned stage. Okay, let's save. Okay, if we have extra information, we can give it here. For example, an email address or a cover image for this task. And also we can have analytic account. I will talk about analytic account in another session, as it's related to the finance department in your company. But in a quick explanation, analytic account allows us to get the costs and revenues from each project and each task. Okay. Okay, once we have created or finished our task details, we can give it a worksheet. We can write our worksheet here, or we can write any information we need. For example, this task needs to be done in 1 week. Okay, let's go back to our task. As you can see here, worksheet completed as we defined it. We can sign a report for this task or send it by email to our customer, okay, with all our description here. Okay, and we have here the status of each task of the task. This task is in to do. If we go back to our project Kanban view, we can find here our task is in the first stage. We can drag it into assigned column. Okay. Or we can open the task, and in the status bar here, we can mark it as in progress stage. If we go back, we will find it in the in progress column right now. Okay, and you can find here the title of the task and number of subtasks. Okay, the tag we added and the deadline and the priority here, and here assignees of the task, Mitchell admin and Mr. Islam. Once we finish it, we can move it into the quality check, and here in the done stage, we can move it to mark it as done. Okay, but before marking it as done, we can dive into it a little bit, and we can find here our subtasks. We can click on view task. We will find here the subtask, and we can give it a worksheet and a planned date, a description, and another subtasks and another assignees also. Okay. Or we can click on assign to me here. So the system will add my username in the assignees field. Once this subtask has been done, also the subtask number 2, we can find here the stage. Subtask number 1 has been done, and it's time for the subtask number 2. We can view it to manage its status and description. Now we can mark it as done also. Very good. As you can see right now, all my subtasks has been done. So the big one or specific task can be marked as done right now from here, from the status bar, or from the Kanban view. We can drag it and drop it in the done column. Okay. Okay. So inside the external site construction project, we have one task. We traced its stages from creating it as a new task to finishing it. Okay. If this project depends on only one task, we can drag it and drop it in the done stage. Okay. And we have here a counter for number of projects in each stage. Also, if we opened any project, we will find the same counter in each stage of tasks. Represents the number of tasks. Okay. Okay. As you know, we have here the projects menu item. If we press it, it will open the same projects page, which is the first page when we open the application or the module. Also, I have here another menu called My Tasks. It represents tasks assigned to me. Here, if any one of you want to see the tasks assigned to him, he can click on My Tasks. The system will show tasks assigned to him. And as you can see, here's all these tasks has assigned to Mr. Mitchell Admin, which is my user name here. Okay. Okay. And we have a report also. We will talk about it in the second session. Also, if we dive into any project, for example, this one, which have 22 tasks. As you know, each screen in Odoo have many types of views. We have the Kanban view, which represents our tasks or our data or our records as blocks, as you can see, and each record has a stage. Okay. Also, we have the tree view or the list view, which represents our tasks or our records. And the lines view, as you can see here, is the title of the task, the project which is the task is related to, the assignees, and the progress of each task, and the stage. Where is the task? In which stage? Okay. And also by clicking on these 3 points, we can show another columns. For example, the customer name and the parent task here, and the states and the deadline. Okay. Okay. We have also a calendar view. Which represents our tasks in a calendar. I can't find any task here. All tasks are overdue. Okay. Also, we have a pivot table, which is a report. We will talk about it in the second session. And also we have a Gantt view. Okay. Okay. Finally, we will talk about the activity. We have here in the configuration a page named activity types. Okay, we have many activity types here: email, call, meeting, to do, and upload documents. So, what does these activity types refers to? If you go to any project, let's open this project, for example, we can find here many tasks, okay? And each task has a clock icon here. I think you can see it. Let's zoom in. We have here a clock icon on each task. So what does this icon refer to? It refers to the activities. Okay. How can we use the activities? For example, in this, let's open this task. Okay. And we want to schedule an activity for this task. For example, this task is check Juventus, and it has been assigned to Mr. Mitchell. Okay, what if you want as a project manager to assign another mission or another task or another thing related to this task to Mr. Mitchell admin? You don't need to call him to give him a call or send him a manual email. You can click on schedule activity and you can select the activity type, for example, email or meeting or to do. Let's select to do. And you can select the deadline of this activity and assign it to Mr. Mitchell admin. And you can write your summary here. For example, scheduling or schedule a meeting. And I will give him a note. Please schedule a meeting with the client engineers before checking joints. I will click on schedule. So as you can see here, when Mr. Mitchell admin will open his task to manage it, he will find a note here with a subject and the note we added from which person or which user in the system and a date of the deadline. Okay. Also, the system will send a notification with this activity by email to this assigned user, which is Mitchell admin. Also, if we have gone to tomorrow and Mr. Mitchell admin hasn't seen the activity or hasn't taken action on this activity, he hasn't canceled it or marked it as done, the system will give him a warning here in the notification clock icon that this activity is overdue. Okay. So when you create or when you schedule an activity, the system sends an email with your note to the specific assigned person as a notification. And if we exceeds the deadline, the system will give him a warning here in the notification icon. Okay, so once he gets the notification, he should take the action and mark it this activity as done or cancelled. And if he marked this as done, he has to write a feedback. For example, I have called the customer and he wants to change the meeting appointment. Done. Okay, once he writes a feedback, the system automatically will send you an email with a response of your of your employee or of the feedback. Okay. Also, you can mark this note as priority, or you can give it a notification, an emoji. Okay, as you can see. Okay, next time we will talk about how to manage number of hours of the task. We have talking about the blended and the deadline. We will talk about the timesheet and the email templates for customer, asking our customer for a rating, and we will talk about reporting. Now I'll stop my record.